Hey, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this thing started, and then I'm out of here. So if you guys have any questions for me, you can ask me first. And then Robbie's right behind us. He'll be here, and we'll get the rest of the guys here. The attendance tonight was 11,482. The gate was $735,317. Excuse me. The fight of the night was, Lawler Brown. The performances were Johnson and Benavidez. Everybody won $50,000, so congratulations to them. What did I say? Benavidez, yeah. that would be interesting if Benavidez won it. Sorry. He's like, what the fuck? I thought I said Bermudez. I apologize. And one thing I have to announce, you guys probably didn't hear it, but the next UFC Fight Night on Fox is Saturday, December 13 at US Airways Center in Phoenix. UFC's first trip to Phoenix. They've been chirping at me for a long time. Here we come, Phoenix. Any questions? For me. Then I'm leaving.
So obviously we know what the next title fight is. Is there any idea, like when you're looking, is there a targeted date, a thought in mind of when the welterweight title fight will be?
Yeah, we do know that, but I don't think we've announced it yet.
Okay.
All right?
No, you haven't.
No.
Do you want to go ahead and do that now?
No, I don't.
No? Okay.
No.
And also,
you know what I would like to announce, though? We're going to Phoenix with the next fight night. That's right.
Makes sense.
December 13th.
And obviously, I know you don't like to matchmake on Fight Night, but I want to ask you about Anthony Johnson. I mean, the guy, it doesn't seem to be any like clear-cut matchups for him right away, but it seems like he's elevated himself into contender status with that right now. So what's your idea with Anthony Johnson right now? Do you have a matchup in mind or where he stands in the division?
Well, it's crazy. Yeah, there's no doubt he's a contender, but he still needs another fight to get up into that. It's amazing. I don't know. I don't think we've ever had a guy go from 170 to 205 and actually be more powerful and more devastating than he was at 170. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it, but he looked fantastic tonight. I saw a lot of stuff on Twitter with the idiots going, this was a horrible fight. Come on. Johnson just came back at 205. Lil Nog is one of the toughest, craftiest veterans, and before he got hurt, I think he was ranked number 5 in that division. So I was blown away by Anthony's performance tonight. He made it quick, and he made it look easy. Unbelievable. So we'll get him another fight. It did seem like he was shaking his hand a lot and doing things with his hand. I don't know yet. Brown was transported, though. He was transported to the hospital. So we'll know. Yeah, well, you know what? Because when you look at a fight like this with these two type of guys, you expect them. There's going to be fireworks. These guys are going to start banging, and they did right when it started. They both got hurt in that first round. I don't know if everybody knows this, but I said yesterday on Fox, if this fight goes 5 rounds, I'll walk back to Las Vegas. Yeah, I'll see everybody in Vegas on Thursday. I didn't think that it would go the distance because these guys both punched so hard. I thought there was no way in hell this fight was going 5 rounds. But I'll tell you what, Robbie and I were just talking about this backstage. I think that Brown moves up in the rankings with this fight. I mean, Robbie's clearly the number 1 guy. I think he's had 4 fights in 3 months. Thank you, by the way. He's been unbelievable and stepping up and taking big fights nonstop for us. And, fighting dangerous guys. And he goes in there and that thing goes 5 rounds. And Brown, hurt hand or not, went for it in that 5th round. Unbelievable fight, unbelievable performance. And I think the guy actually moves up in the rankings instead of backwards.
Dana, your dual thoughts on Bobby Green and Dennis Bermudez. And these two fighters, I think these are guys that for a long time now, hardcore fans have known big things are ahead. But I think Bobby Green looks going to the top 10. Dennis Bermudez, obviously 7 straight. So your thoughts putting them on Big Fox, and obviously they get exposed to a big mainstream audience.
Yeah, 2 guys that I really like personally and as fighters. I'm really happy for him. Bermudez is nasty, man. That kid just keeps looking nastier and nastier and nastier. I'm talking about Bermudez, not Benavidez. He looks nastier and nastier every time he fights. He gets better and better. His performance tonight against a guy like Clay Guida said it all. Clay is one of those tough, durable guys that no matter who he fights, he's in the fight. And tonight Bermudez finished him. He looked unbelievable. And even though I told Bobby that I actually had that fight the other way, and then I went over to Media Row, and most of the media had it the other way, and then people were texting me and had it Bobby Green's way. So congratulations to him. It's he's a great fighter. Another guy. How about this? How about stepping up on late notice and taking on Josh Thompson? You know, he took that fight on late notice, and thank you and congratulations.
Josh's position here. I mean, you said that you had it the other way, but what do you think this?
I'm not a judge. Nobody gives a shit what I think. So,
No, I mean, in terms of what's next for Josh, right?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a decision he needs to make, and you know, obviously he's still one of the best guys in the world. It was a very, very close fight, and again, even though whatever my opinion is on this, it's just one of those things that I always say. If you leave it in the hands of the judges, you're crazy. I can't remember what fight happened that one of the it was the Crookshank fight. One of the judges had that fight 30-27. Crookshank dropped him in the first round. How does he lose that round? Doesn't make any sense.
Well, following up on that, what did you think of the score with Patrick and Kyle Kingsbury? There was a 30-24.
It was a 30-24.
Yeah.
How about that?
No, that was.
How about I was like, you'll never fucking see that again. A 30-24. Somebody will have to die for a 30-24, right? It's crazy. I know. That's what's scary, though, when you go into these fights, especially a big fight with so much on the line, you know, for Bobby and Josh. You got number 3 versus number 13. You got to go in there and you got to win, man. You got to go in there and finish fights.
Since you're leaving, what's the status on Gina Carano?
It's complicated. It's complicated.
Status update right there.
I'm positive. I'm very positive about it, but it's complicated. Yeah. Still working on it.
Because of scheduling or because of the?
Huh? I'm still working on it. That's all I can say. I don't know. I'm working on it. It's complicated. Any other questions for me? I really appreciate all. Oh, go ahead, honey. What's up? Brazil.
Yeah, like they announced this week, the UFC Brazil, that they're gonna hold four more shows until the end of the year and one title bout. Is this Chad against Aldo? Because Aldo is the only champ that doesn't have a match.
Did we announce that?
You announced that that the Brazil is gonna hold a show and a belt. You know.
Did we announce the fight?
No, not the fight, but like a title belt.
All right, I'll throw you guys one
You,
tonight.
like,
That's
math.
the fight.
That's the fight.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get murdered for this. Brazil's gonna call up screaming and yelling at me that I blew their big whatever. So there you go. I gave you something tonight before I left. I'm walking back to Vegas. Thank you guys for traveling here. The people that did, I appreciate it.
Hey, Robbie, can we? Just wanted to ask you. Just wanted to ask you about the fight, and did you feel going into the 5th round that you needed to win the 5th round to ensure you won the fight?
Yeah, I just wanted to go out there and look to stop him, and that's what I tried to do. I mean, there's 2 winners in that ring tonight, or cage tonight, and he's very impressive, and he put on a good performance tonight.
You were hitting him with some of those left hands inside those short punches in the 1st round, and then it seemed like maybe you didn't land that punch again until the 5th round. Did he do any adjustment to take that short left hand away from you? Where?
I think he just hunkered down in front of me a little too much in that 5th round, and he's a hell of an opponent. I mean, he took a lot of shots, and I landed some big shots, and he kept coming. Everything they said about that guy was true, and he's very tough.
How was this fight compared to your fight with Johnny Hendricks in terms of difficulty for you and your feeling at the end of each of those fights that you had won?
It's very similar. Big, strong guys, guys who want to beat you up, and I don't know. Brown was really tough tonight, and I look forward to fighting Johnny.
So just to look ahead just a little bit, now you're going back. Do you change anything as you fight Johnny? I mean, have you looked at the tape of that fight and said, if I get the chance to fight him again, I'm going to do something different?
I'm going to do a lot different. I'm going to keep building on everything I've been doing this year, but I'm going to do more. That's what that fight came down to. I need to do more punches, more kicks, more takedown defense. I just need to take the fight to him. No, I have no idea. I am not a doctor. No, I mean he's cut up a little bit, but I'm sure he's gonna bounce back. He's like Wolverine.
A question for Robbie Lawler. Robbie, after the first couple of rounds, where Matt Brown was able to take you down, you made a couple of adjustments. You were stuffing takedowns. You were also throwing more kicks. Was that on the advice of your corner? Was that something instinctively you picked up on?
Yeah, my coaches just wanted me to do more, but I think out there I needed to just not just throw my hands. I needed to beat him up all over the place and keep him off balance and not let him zero in on me.
Did you feel like it looked like he was shaking his hand out in the fifth round? After that, it really didn't seem like he
I
threw his
saw
guard
it, but
again.
I didn't care what he was doing. So, I mean, that could have been posturing. He could have hurt it, but I don't really pay much attention to those things. I'm just going out there trying to beat him up.
Question for Dennis Bermudez. Dennis, 7 straight now. Your winning streak in the division, second only to Jose Aldo, and on the big stage of Fox. Looking forward, are you expecting, not only a top 10 opponent, but even possibly a top 5?
Realistically, I would like a title shot. I got a lot of wins. I've been finishing guys. I'm excited to fight. I'm an excited fighter. But, I mean, whoever they give me, though.
Question for Bobby Green. Bobby, obviously taking advantage of an opportunity here, taking the fight on short notice, but I think this probably vaults you into top 10 consideration. Nick Diaz just re-signed with the organization. If Nate Diaz were to end his holdout, what about a fight with Nate Diaz?
Bro, I'm always in for any fight, like taking Josh on 12 days notice, proves that I'm here for the fans, here to put on a good show. And it's kind of hard to put on a great fight with a guy when you don't really have time to prepare for him. So if Nate comes down the line, that's great, I just go on whoever they put in front of me. I don't pick or choose these guys. I've never had the time to say no, this guy or that guy. Whoever God puts in front of me, it was meant to be.
I've got a question for Rumble down here in the front. A lot of people expected you to beat Little Nog. Did you expect to get it done that quickly?
No. He's, when you face a guy like Nogueira, you kind of think like, okay, this is about to be a battle because the last name Nogueira stands out and it means a lot. Those guys fight with a lot of pride. But I knew I had to finish him or hurt him really bad where the judges or anybody didn't have any second guesses and think that he won. So I'm glad it ended that way.
And I don't know who you would like next. I mean, I know you actually.
Everybody.
Everybody. And a question for you, Patrick. We kind of talked about this a little bit in the hallway there, but do you feel a sense of now I told you so to some fans who kind of dismissed you? I mean, pretty much everybody already has lost to DC, and you're one of the guys who did. But now, do you feel like, listen, I told you I'm actually a fighter? To feel like a sense of proving anything to the doubters?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm in a unique situation. I'm growing up in the octagon. Pretty, doesn't sound right because I'm 33 years old, but I've had, I have very little experience, and what I have is from the UFC, and my goal when I go out there is just to keep getting better every single time. And I think last fight, my coaches and trainers said you showed about 30% of what you can do, and this time they said, yeah, I think you're about 50%. So I'm happy. As long as I'm improving, I'm happy.
And Dennis, I know you and Patrick were living together before this fight, so feels good, I'm sure, for both of you to get the wins tonight. How do you think you did?
Oh man, he looked awesome, and watch him go out and dominate really got me going. And I kind of I watched him go out and dominate with wrestling, and that's exactly what I went out and did then.
Congrats.
Question for George Masvidal. Hey, can you take us through the knockdown, how you persevered and got back in the fight?
It was like jumping in the cold shower and it woke me right up.
The replay looked like you might have been out on the way down.
Nah, that was just for cameras and stuff. That's just to get everybody pumped. I was trying to get that fight of the night, but whatever. My boy Robbie got it, man.
How do you feel about your performance?
I did all right. I give it like a C or something like that, man. But I just want to get back in there. I know Cerrone need a fight in September, so hopefully they could book me for that,
Robbie, Where's this new charisma kind of coming from for you? You're playing with everybody here in the press conference. Not something we normally see from you. You feeling a little more comfortable in the spotlight?
Yeah, I'm definitely more comfortable. I'm embracing this. Kind of changed my mindset on talking to the media probably about a year and a half ago when I came back to the UFC. Just have to be more professional and show myself a little more.
And for Anthony, congratulations. Big performance for you coming back. I know you wanted to prove something when you came back to the UFC. I know you have some lofty goals. How far along do you think you are towards that, and what do you want next?
I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to my goals of being a champion. So, whoever they throw in front of me is just in a lot of trouble. So, they put him in front of him, I'm going to keep knocking him down.
Robbie, you looked so strong tonight all the way to the finish, which didn't seem to be the case against Hendrick. Was conditioning an extra emphasis in your training for this fight?
Yeah, conditioning's always an emphasis, especially when you're going 25 minutes. I just wanted to build after every round, and I just felt like every fight I've been getting stronger. So I want to get back right in the gym and start working out and start working to get better and start training to be a champion.
Dennis, over here. I know we talked a little bit about Clay Guida. His endurance is crazy. You said, you want to do some things to prove that, you've got the, better endurance, make him look tired, all these types of things. And you go out there and you stop him in the second. How important is it to you to have actually, gotten this fight, just stopped it, finished it?
Between the first and second round, he did his, crazy jog around the octagon. And I looked at him like, dude, you're hurting right now. You're so tired. And just went out nice and loose in the second round and just put him away.
Anthony, question for you. What did you come in a cage tonight? Do you know what you weighed after you rehydrated?
220.
And is that the same as you were when you were fighting at welterweight? I mean, did you how much did you go up to then? You were pretty big then.
Close. Nah, but when I was fighting 170, I would give my weight back up to about 190.
I was just kidding, but I guess the point I was trying to make was that it seems like you don't look physically a lot different, and yet your performance has really gone up. Given do you feel like just a more complete athlete right now?
Yeah, I'm for sure training a lot different. I'm training harder. I'm training smarter. I've actually dedicated myself to this sport. I'm really trying to go out there and give it my all for a change.
And when you were asked in the past, the show in Brazil when you were over, and you just never would concede that, hey, I'm not giving my all. I'm not, there was nothing with you. What was the switch? Like, where did it change where you finally said, hey, I need to take control of my career and my life and make the switch that you were going to, become professional and make weight and do those kind of things?
Whenever I missed weight after I got cut from the UFC, that was the day I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm making myself look like a fool. I was hurting my team. I was hurting my family. I was hurting myself, and sooner or later you got to grow up in life. So, and I think along the 2 years I was away from the UFC, I grew up a good bit. I still have a lot of growing up to do. I'm still a big kid.
Questions?
Is that it? Any more questions? Can we go home now?
Any more questions? Richard.
Jorge, question for Jorge Masvidal. It looked like you and Darren Cruikshank were having quite a conversation there at one point in the cage. Can you talk about was there anything being discussed? Were you talking in his ear
at the end?
At some point in the fight.
Oh, during the fight?
Yeah, during the fight. Yeah.
I don't remember what I said, but I won't repeat anything because there's kids here, so I just
Is that something you're known to do from time to time? Talk to an opponent?
It's nothing personal. If I could get inside somebody's head, why not? You know what I'm saying? If I could make them throw a little harder or just, make them come at me a little harder, why not,
Robbie, I have a question for you. you've fought so much more frequently now. Your name is obviously becoming much bigger. How has that been for you in terms of your training? I know you did some work with Tyron Woodley, and I'm just curious that the pace, the frequency now, has that been a beneficial thing for you, or has there been any struggle to that?
No, it's been a benefit. I trained smart. I listened to my body. I didn't keep pushing really hard because right when I came into the fight with Ellenberger, I was already in shape. So I didn't have to look to lose weight, look to get in shape. I just was looking to fine-tune and taking smaller steps. And so when you're training like that, you train smart, you hit it hard, then you rest a little bit and work on technique. So I didn't really plateau. I was able to build just by being smart. My coaches down at Top Team were really smart about pushing me for this camp and my camp before that. And my training partners are amazing. They helped me out. I feel like I fought Matt Brown a million times already just from all the training I did.
But, there's always that sense of there's a little injury here, a little one there, and you're going into a fight with something wrong. So have you been able to avoid that, or have you actually had a couple of bangs up that, now you'll have some time to heal before fighting Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, everyone up here is probably banged up. You just kind of figure it out, work around it, and don't let it slow you down unless it's really serious. Just listen to your body and don't push too hard sometimes.
Thanks.
This question is for Bobby. Basically, how much was this win important to you after everything that you've been through in your personal life recently?
For those who don't know, my brother was killed. 4 family members shot all at once. This was very big, and this is the only reason I actually took the fight, is to give my brother that honor, to put him on front stage and say that he was a good kid. He was a great guy. He was my closest soldier to me. He was my baby brother. When I go home, he was the first person I was going to see. And it's been very hard to deal with it and to deal with that pain. And I haven't had time to really sit back and think about it. I think I'm going to go visit his grave and really express my hurt now. But I've been so busy and so occupied because I only took the fight on 12 days' notice that you don't have time to do all these different things, So just really now I'm going to take my time to really cry for my brother. I didn't really get the time to share that. Thank you.
Thank you. And for Masvidal, I was curious why you wanted to get a shot at Cerrone. Is there anything in particular that seems to be under your skin a little bit?
No, it's nothing personal. I just I need money and he needs a fight, so why not? I'm injury free, so I'm ready to go September. I know he needs an opponent still, so.
Thank you.
Any last questions? All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you, everyone.